having a camera in my shirt pocket. You're not allowed to have your cameras out, so I'm going to carry it with me. I'm in the line. I'm going in next. People are praying together and holding hands, reciting the Lord's Prayer. I went to go inside, so I won't be able to read the comments or comment.
That's the worst thing to do when you breathe in a scary movie. The killer always just busts it.
I'm still waiting in line, so just hang with me. We'll go in shortly.
Sonia.
The good thing is they're not playing the music that they were playing earlier. I mean, I've been waiting in line for probably an hour.
I've only seen like death on videos and stuff. Somebody take. Nah, Sonia, you got the girl. Come here.
All right, we're about to go in.
Wait a minute.
Yay! I want to go to hell. It's so cold out here. I can't wait to get to hell. I should say a prayer too.
Please come sit up near the TV right here. It's perfectly safe. We just need to get everyone in the room, and everyone needs to have a seat. I'm putting my job in the seat. Have a seat. Adults, you can stand against the wall. I need all the youth.
Yeah, I'll just...
Yo, dude, that's not
Sit
cool.
down. If you just sit down,
I was literally almost
behind
standing
your
there.
seat. Please sit down.
Like a brick.
All right. Is everyone in? Okay. There's going to be about 13 seconds of that screen. Oh, okay.
Oh, we're gonna watch a video.
Remember, if y'all see a gun, cover your eyes ears. It's allowed to sell.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I deserve this or not. I don't know if it caught me or if I caught it. This darkness. But I do know that I can't keep on. That it will kill me. I'm starting to fade away. Should I fight against it? Should I reject it? Or should I use it? They say that there's power in a name. What name you call on in the night? What name you cry when you go to war?
The U.S. State Department estimates that 27 million people are victims of human trafficking around the world. Well, if you think it's not happening in the U.S., think again.
Tricked into sex, forced into sex slavery. We're talking about American girls as young as 14 years old.
That's what scares me the most, is how easily it can happen. It can happen to a girl from any background.
The internet has changed the sex trade. Girls no longer need to walk the streets. Customers simply find them online. Teens.
What's up? Yeah, tonight.
shed.
All the way down into the front. All the way
Freezing outside, now it's all stuffy in here.
all the way to the front. Get on the knee. Let's go. Move.
Quickly!
All the way over.
Here, you can cut ahead of me there.
This is my girl, Jessica. Recently, her boyfriend of 2 years dumped her, and she's finally ready to get back out there. All she wants is a nice guy with no strings attached, and I've got the perfect guy in mind.
I'm really nervous about it. Why? I don't know, it's just weird, like, meeting someone on Tinder and inviting them over. That's not even weird. Seriously? Like, I've met so many guys off Tinder, it's never weird. You can just call them out. I guess, I don't know, it's weird. I'm just trying to have fun with the guy, honestly.
I wonder who that could be.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm Danielle. This is my friend Susanna. Hi, I'm Susanna. I'm just here to make sure you're not a serial killer or anything.
Yeah, don't about me. I'm good.
Hey, I'm gonna go grab my jacket. I'll be back.
Bye, Danielle.
Hey, I'm not sure I can do this. Like, I don't know. She's my friend. That's messed up. I
What?
can't just,
Like, sell her. That's not okay.
I already brought the money, alright? I already brought the money, so you better hold up your part of the deal. You got it?
Okay.
Hey, look at me. Do you got it?
I got it.
Come on, you know you need the money. I mean, she's the one who let the random guy into the apartment. Somebody must have told her not to talk to strangers.
Here, this way. I don't want her to get any ideas.
Do you even have my money?
You're gonna get it, alright? Just don't even worry about it. Get out of here.
Hey, I gotta go, but I'll text you later.
Where are you going? You know where she's going?
No, she didn't really say anything to me, actually.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just, you and me now.
Yeah. Okay, you're kind of acting weird. Maybe you should leave.
That's not done first.
What? Stop!
Shut up!
Hey, stop!
Shut up!
Poor Jessica. She just wanted a little night of fun. Well, I can see one. She's in for a lot of long nights. Now get out! Keep walking, let's go!
Come on, lady. Hurry, hurry.
Let's rock and roll.
Hurry.
Oh, it's cold in here.
Come on in. Welcome to my whorehouse. We're expecting a new guest. Everyone, help me welcome Jessica.
Stop! Please let go. Where are we? Let go! Stop. Come out! Oh my God, where are we? Somebody please help!
Shut up.
What? Why are we chained up? Where are?
Nobody's coming for you.
No, somebody's coming. Somebody will come.
Just take these. It'll help when they come.
What the? Who's coming?
The men! Don't you see where we are? She looks familiar.
Oh my God, somebody please help.
Nobody's coming for you. Nobody came for
Somebody.
Katie over here.
No, somebody's coming. Somebody help, please.
Get up. Someone paid good money for you.
Where are you taking her?
Better show me a good time.
Oh my God, please, somebody let me out. Somebody help.
Stop whining.
Please.
You're worthless. Just get used to your new home.
Somebody has to go. Please, somebody help. Please.
Let's go. Time for you to earn your keep.
No, I'm not going.
Let's go.
I'm not going. Please stop.
Have fun, Jessica. Now, unless you want to be next. Get out!
I usually pay extra to get chained up.
All the way down. Hurry.
Doobie.
Hurry, hurry. Let's go, let's go. Hurry.
Run like
Watch
there's
your step, watch your step.
there's free tacos out there. Free buffet.
I'm talking about you can't work with us.
Starving.
Keep coming. In the front.
All the way to the front, all the way to the front.
Welcome to my little party. We're expecting a visitor.
Hey, JJ, I'm back.
Yeah, what's up, Tommy? What's stuff?
Everybody got their ears.
Let me ask something. Nothing?
I didn't open it.
Are you sure?
Sure about that?
I'm positive.
No lying to me?
No, I'm not.
You know what, man? You did a good job. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hook you up. See you next week, same time.
I'm seeing next week. Because JJ over here has more business to take care of. He always does. He makes more money in a single day than any of you in a whole month. But, like most people, JJ over here forgets who's making the rules.
And that bitch only should have been there an hour ago. Better not be making any side deals. Put a hole in his face.
Hey, what's up, JJ?
Hey, what's up, Tony?
This is stuff?
Yeah, man, that's stuff. Let's be all here. Question is, you got my money?
Man, you know I always got your money. There's no reason to have that out.
Alright, cool. You know, word on the streets saying that you've been making some side deals. What's up with that?
Man, what are you talking about? You know I'd never do anything like that.
Just saying,
I'm
man,
not
I wouldn't
stupid.
like it if you did something like that.
No, I'm good.
This is your chance. You could be the boss, Tommy. Take him out.
I got your money right here. Hey, put your gun on the table. I'm taking over. You know, I'm sick of working for you. All you do is boss me around and take all my money, so I'm taking over.
You think you just take it like that, huh? Let me tell you something, man. There ain't nothing without me. I made you.
I'm nothing without you. This business would be nothing without me. You see, I bring in all the money, and all you do is just sit there. So I'll see you in hell.
You go first. You see, Tony over here thought he could be the boss. He thought he could have it all. But like I said, they always forget who's making the rules. So unless you want to end up like him in hell, I suggest you get out. Let's go. Hurry up.
This floor is caving in.
Let's go.
Yeah. I need an exhaust fan in here.
Hurry.
Hurry up.
Hurry.
Come on with it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Why are we not moving?
Let's go.
Let's go. Ah, shit. Somebody told me there was a drop.
Are you with the patients now? Stay with me on the line. How old are they? 15. None of them have a pulse.
Welcome to my world. This is where I offer no escape. You see, Jacqueline thought she had her whole life figured out. Little did she know, I had my hooks on her for a long time. I convinced her that a few nights of drinking and endless joyrides with her friends wouldn't hurt. Well, now I'm the one who's having the party.
Well, we have one dead. Looks of it, maybe two.
Where?
You got in a car accident. Just gotta stay calm. And
Where's my sister?
Sit here.
Where's my sister?
Now go over there.
Where's my sister? Jacqueline? Jacqueline, no!
No, step away from the body. Step away.
Alyssa! Alyssa, I'm right here! Listen to me! Alyssa! I'm right here! Listen to me! She can't hear you! Jacqueline, you're dead! Alyssa, listen to me! Give it up! I'm so sorry! I should have listened to you! I shouldn't have drank! I shouldn't have drank! I'm so sorry! Too late now! Jacqueline, let's go! No! No, I'll be good! Please! Sorry, Jacqueline, but you had your chance. Now, there really is no escape. So remember, do whatever you want, drink whatever you want. I mean, you only live once, right? Now get out!
All the way to the
Let's
front.
go!
All the way in there.
I'm tall.
All the way! All the way!
Literally all the way.
All the way!
Well, where's the front?
I'm so glad you came. Welcome. Welcome to my world as we know it. A world where people who are different than you are a threat. A world where evil grows and hatred runs deep. A world where words and name-calling can fuel fire that cannot be put out. This is one of my oldest tactics and most successful weapons. Hate all who are different than you. Believe the lies and the names I'm giving you. Just a wetback, border bandit, greaser, spick, porch monkey, cotton picker, coon. That's all they are and that's all they'll ever be. So why try to be anything different? Frackers, white trash, honky, redneck.
That's all we are to you. All you see is the color of my skin. Man, you're right, man. White trash.
See what I've done? You can't escape my hate. You may hate those that are different than you, but the truth is, you all bleed red. Now get out!
Let's go.
That's my friend. That's my friend.
Where they going? All the way in. All the way.
I keep ending up in the back.
All the way in.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's getting better. Got two down.
Thank you. Last person, please close the door.
You guys are gonna love this. At least I will.
I'm so scared. This is gonna hurt. Just calm down. Everything's going to be okay.
My plan is working perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I just need to look over everything once more to make sure everything is okay.
My little friend here has made some very grown-up decisions, and now she just doesn't know what to do. But that's all right. I'll help make everything better.
I really don't feel good about this. It can't be the only
no gun
my
in here.
baby? I'm only
No
doing what I think is best for you. And besides, you can have a baby right now. Can you imagine what it would be like? This baby is going to ruin your life. You won't be able to go to college like you always wanted.
Nope.
You'll be working yourself to death for a child that's not going to get what it needs and wants. And besides, you're only a couple months old. And it's not even a baby yet. So yeah, this is the right thing to do.
You better listen. She knows what she's talking about.
All right, let's go ahead and get started.
I'll be outside.
Don't worry, we're gonna take good care of you. I just need you to lay back and just try to relax.
Wait, I'm not so sure about this anymore. How long is it going to take? Will it hurt?
I have you out of here in no time. It shouldn't hurt, but you may feel some pressure.
This doctor actually believes she's providing a service, and all because of women's rights. It's my body, my choice. Well, it is your choice. Your choice to give that little morsel to me.
Oh my God, it hurts so bad. I never wanted to do this. I never wanted to kill my baby.
Okay, I need you to calm down. You're gonna be okay.
Don't try and fight it. It's too late to turn back now.
I'm so sorry.
Maybe she didn't use a local anesthetic.
I can't take this anymore. Jesus,
Please try and stay calm. We're almost finished.
Just say goodbye. Goodbye, babe.
Bye-bye.
I can hear her crying. She's calling for me.
All right, I'm finished. You did great. I just need
She
you
heard
to
her
lay
fetus
back and
crying.
try to relax, and I'll be back to check on you.
My baby. I want my baby.
Luckily for me, I have thousands more people all around the world, today and every day. Every few seconds,
Little
your
bit of
full assistance
misinformation.
adds to my bill. Just be careful.
Abortions.
I may be paying you.
If the child's movements are violent at this point, it does sense aggression in its sanctuary. It is moving away. One can see it moving to the left side of the uterus in an attempt, a pathetic attempt, to escape the inexorable instruments which the abortionist is using to extinguish its life.
Now get out!
Come on. Go to your right. All the way down. Go to your right.
Oh, they would use anesthesia for that.
Ladies first.
A little bit of misinformation there. We go this way?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Where are we supposed to go?
Nope, keep going back up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, go back up. Go into the, there's a door that you opened. I'm sorry.
Oh, there's nothing labeled.
There's a door you're supposed to open, she said.
Will be good right now?
Damn, I end up in the back again. I keep trying to get to the front.
You're doing enough, just push it in. Sorry.
I could hardly find the building, much less the my way through here. There's no signs anywhere. This is so unorganized. There I go in the back again.
Let's go.
Despite my meager attempts.
Hurry. Close that door for me.
Welcome.
I was born in a barn, sorry.
By the looks of it, you'll never think that I am in charge. That I am the chaos that reigns over this beautiful, beautiful world.
We should never judge a book by its cover, right?
Jessica! You better clean this mess and don't say a word to your sister. Do you hear me?
Mike, what is going on? I can hear you yelling all the way across the room. What
Baby,
happened?
back. Nothing happened. Jessica was just having a little attitude, but we dealt with it. Right, Jessica?
Jessica, what's wrong? Tell me what's wrong.
I was talking to you,
What did
right,
you do?
Jessica? We dealt with the situation, and I told for you to go to your room. What are you doing in the kitchen? Are you dumb, Jessica? Are you deaf, maybe, because you're not listening to me?
Get off of me! You ever Jessica!
I won't touch you again until you learn your lesson!
You know what, Mike? I've had it up to here. I'm calling the cops!
Oh, no, you're not calling the cops. Give me this phone right now.
No!
Give
I'm
me
calling the cops!
the phone.
Mike! I swear I will kill you, Mike! Just leave me alone! Calling the
You're
cops!
gonna kill me?
Yes!
You're gonna give me a call into this house? You're not gonna kill me. You're going into this house and disrespect me, and you're gonna
Mike,
kill me?
just
Oh,
stop
no,
it.
you didn't listen to your own.
Get off of her!
Oh, wait.
You're so cute.
Jessica, wait.
You killed her.
I didn't kill her.
You killed her.
She's gonna be fine. It's okay.
I hate you!
We don't want any accidents to happen.
I hate you!
I told you I was in charge. And the best part is yet to come. Now get out!
Right through here.
What did I do? Your sister's dead, Jessica. She's the only one that cared about you. Your friends don't care about you. You're all alone. I'm all alone! And who's gonna believe your story? Your sister's boyfriend raped you. Yeah, sure. No one's gonna believe me when I tell them what to do. And what if you're pregnant? Do you really want to be known as a slut? Tell yourself. I'm over, Jessica. I can't say this anymore. That's right, Jessica. You're worthless. Shut up! Oh, you mad? You're worthless, Jessica. No one cares about you. You should just end it right now. Come on, Jessica. You're wasting our time. Just end your life right now. No one cares about you. You're all alone. Think about it.
This is a wild game of survival.
Get out! Get out!
Don't forget it's Longwood.
I know y'all walk faster than that.
No, they don't.
Hurry, hurry. Come on, guys. Hurry.
Quickly. With assertion.
All the way through, all the way through.
This suction tip, you can see moving violently back and forth on the bottom of the screen is the lethal instrument which will ultimately tear apart and destroy a child.
A mother in Texas who lost her husband and baby in a drunk driving accident. 3 people died in 2 separate crashes.
Drinking and driving is an issue so big, many of us have no idea how deep it goes.
This is the 6th killing of a civilian by police in Charlotte this year.
He had to watch this. And this was put all over.
Snipers opened fire on police who were on duty at a Black Lives Matter rally. 11 officers were shot. 5 of them have died.
We cannot stand. We cannot sing. So what can we do?
Oklahoma City police and the FBI have teamed up to investigate a case of underage prostitution. A 15-year-old girl was picked up for the crime, and officials fear there could be more young girls involved.
Not only are young daughters for sale on Robinson,
but men are actually lining up to buy them.
It's tragic that it can be often very hard and very difficult for women to leave those relationships.
She yelled, "Oh my God, he's here."
54 women, men, and children had their lives cut short because of domestic violence.
Let's get in the coffin. Let's get in the coffin.
Where's my coffin?
You won't all fit in this one. Get in a different one.
Everyone's right here.
Do I get my own coffin?
No, not that one. Down here. There's lots more.
This is a lot like an apartment in New York.
That's why we're here.
Are we supposed to go through? Oh, yeah, there you go. It's like a 43-year-old guy in a little box with a bunch of liquor. Hey, y'all. This is not built well. I'd love to. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. This is awesome. It's like my house. What's going on? I think this is supposed to be hell. Kind of reminds me of like Disturbathon, but pallet construction. This is well made.
She just says that that plane will follow me. Okay, sure, why not?
This is the most thrown together thing I've ever seen in my life. A bunch of pallets and plywood, and there's no way this passed fire code.
Come on, guys, come on. All the way up. Keep the back here.
Let's do it.
Let's go. No one in the back.
Oh, this is great.
Look at him. Broken. Bleeding. Naked and humiliated for all the world to see. A death reserved for the most horrible and guilty of human beings. He was fully innocent. And yet he volunteered for this. Why would anyone choose this? He did it for you. He did it so that when you hear the voices that tell you you're worthless, you would recognize that as a lie. So that when the voices tell you there's no hope, you would know differently. So that when you stand accused and guilty before the judgment throne of God, he could speak on your behalf. And one day, when an army of demons prepare to battle for the right to drag your soul to hell, if they see this blood applied to your sin, they will know that Jesus has already fought this battle.
Just stay on this side of the line.
Mel Gibson would be proud.
Watch your steps. Watch your steps. If y'all want to sit down, you're welcome to. I know y'all probably tired. Watch your steps. Come on. All right, how's everybody doing? Good. Everybody okay? Yeah, okay?
Yay.
All right, this is the last scene. You made it. Nothing scary is going to jump out and get you. The scariest thing you're going to see is the air conditioning.
That is a pretty old air conditioner.
Yeah.
That's-
My name is Sarah. We've been doing Hell House for 27 years now. And so I just want to talk to you a little bit. This room is called the Decision Room. And once I'm done talking, y'all free to go. Hell House depicts real life situations. And that's what we like to do. We like to show you what's really going on in the world. And so in each scene, there was someone dressed in black influencing the characters to do certain things, usually to harm themselves. Now I need y'all to talk to me. Who was dressed in black? Okay, good. Satan demon, yeah. And so,
It must be me.
you weren't in the scene though.
Oh.
That's why. Yeah. And so, in that, they were influencing. It kind of reminds me of like the little devil on your shoulder and the angel on your shoulder. Kind of telling you, do this, do that, don't do this, do that. And that's kind of like how life is. On one side, you have the devil who wants to kill, steal, and destroy you. And on the other side, you have God who wants the best for you. And you can try to walk
Wants to
the
kill
line, but one
everything
way
in the
you're
world.
going to go one way or the other. So let's say you went to school, you forgot your homework. But it's okay because your best friends got you. They did their homework and you can copy out them. It's just homework. No one's going to see it. It's not that big of a deal. You can take a step. And so after school, you get home and your mom wants to go through your phone. No way, you're not going through my phone. And you get into a fight with your mom and you get sassy. You take another step. And so later you find out so-and-so is fooling around with your best friend's boyfriend. Hold up. You're cheating on my best friend. Oh no, we're not having this. You take another step. And you take another step. And then the next day you go to school and your teacher's like, were you cheating? no, I don't cheat. I'm a good person. You don't cheat. I don't know what you're talking about. You take another step and another step until you wake up one day and you realize you're all the way over here. How did this happen? You're a good person. I understand why my life's going the way it is. Why am I not happy? Why am I depressed? Why am I lonely? Why am I tired all the time? Why do I feel uneasy? And that's how Satan gets you. He doesn't get you with big things. He just gets you with little things. Until you know, it's not fooling around with your boyfriend or girlfriend, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, no one needs to know. It's not that big of a deal. And then, so you're way over here. And you can't figure out how you got there. But you know what's cool about God? God doesn't ask you to take leaps and bounds. He shows up where you're at. If you ask him, he'll be there. And so let me ask you a question. Has anyone ever lied before? If I'm being completely honest, I probably lied this morning. I'm not perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. I am not a perfect person. No one is. Except for Jesus. In the last scene, you saw that he died for us. He died on the cross for us so we wouldn't have to go to hell. Because one lie counts us to go to hell. It's sin. And it makes us dirty. But Jesus came and he washes us clean. So, you have a choice to make. Where are you going to stand? It's kind of like this. Does anyone like coffee?
No.
You're either hot or you're cold. No one drinks coffee lukewarm. So you gotta figure out, do you want, unless you're a mother, I have a 3-year-old, so sometimes I drink coffee lukewarm. But that's beside the point. You either drink it hot or you drink it cold. So which side are you gonna let influence you? And that's what's cool about God. I grew up in church. I was super Christian. I went to church on Sundays and Wednesdays. Like, I was super saved. But no one knew I was suffering from depression and anxiety. For 10 years, I kept a secret of loneliness and bitterness. 10 years. I'm only 26. So this was going on when I was 14, 15, and 16 years old. And no one, my parents didn't know, my best friends didn't know, my youth pastors who were so involved in my life had no clue. Because I had taken steps. No one needs to know. No one, I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's fine. We're okay. I'm fine. But I wasn't fine. And they finally put me on medication for my depression and anxiety because it was just that extreme. I was to the point of almost being suicidal. And the medication did help a little bit, but what really helped was Jesus. I finally just let go and I said, you know what? I'm tired of being fake. I'm tired of pretending like I'm okay when I'm not. And when I did that, he met me where I was. And it was a process that I got where I don't even need medication for my anxiety anymore. It was a huge process that he took me through. And I started taking steps to the other side. So on the other side of the wall, there are people who might want to pray with you. Whether you've never met Jesus before and you see, he sounds like a pretty cool guy. I might want to know him. Or you're over here and you're like, you know what, I'm tired of being fake. I'm tired of being lonely. I'm tired of being depressed. The Bible says I'm supposed to live a joyful life. Why do I not live joyful? They can pray with you about that. Or maybe you know someone who's going through one of those situations and you just want to pray for them. You're good with God. Y'all are tight. Y'all are best buds. But you know someone who's going through one of those situations that y'all saw tonight and you just want to pray for them. When the doors open, I'm going to let y'all go through. If you want prayer, it's on the left. If you don't want prayer, it's on the right, and that's the exit. I want to thank y'all for coming. Let me talk with y'all. Y'all have a safe night. It's getting a little cold out, so stay warm. And we appreciate y'all coming. Like I said, if you want prayer, it's on the left. If you don't, exit's on the right.
You know what's funny about that is they call Satanism the left-hand path because God's sheep go to the right. Y'all got that mixed up.
Can't turn the building around.
That's why they say following the left-hand path is the road to the devil.
Really? I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Satanism is on the left. So if you're left-handed, you got to be really worried.
Oh no, I am left-handed.
See?
But you know what? I'm in my right mind.
Gotcha.
They say people who use their left hands are in their right mind, so I don't know what to tell you about your wrong mind. All right. If y'all just want to come in to the walls, y'all have a good night.
I'm just watching.
Pray before you go. The ladies are here, the guys are in the back. We should pray for you. We want to do that.
I'm just watching.
Your strength, Lord God. Let your kingdom come. Your will be done as it is in heaven.
Okay, I've
Open
had enough of
heavens
this.
over his heart, Lord God, over his mind. Everything.
I think I'll pray.
You come in contact with, Lord. All of the response.
Yeah, not here.
That's your belt? Oh no, it's still
Need my ride back. So what do we do now? Do we call an Uber?
How you say it back?
Yeah.
Ticket.
Can you hold my purse while I hula hoop?
All right. Well, it's over. A little bit of misinformation about abortions, you know. They were giving a girl an abortion without any anesthetic and, well, I guess pulling out with a pair of small pliers. That didn't seem right. Pretty sure they'd give her a local anesthetic and, or maybe full anesthesia. I don't think it would hurt. Pretty sure it wouldn't be crying when they pulled it out. They kept talking about following the left, and going to the right is the devil. I go, you got that backwards. Kept saying that the devil wants to kill everybody. Pretty sure God is the one who did all the killing, you know. I mean, you know, the devil did go up onto the mountain and try to convince Jesus to take over the world rather than go to heaven. But he didn't really kill anybody. But God likes to flood the earth and kill all the creatures on the earth. He likes to kill all the firstborn babies of Egypt and, you know, that kind of stuff. So if somebody's going to kill you, it's probably going to be God. And, you know, and every one of those scenes depicted something that had to do with personal responsibility. Choosing whether or not to drink or drive. Choosing whether or not to be a drug dealer. Choosing whether or not to shoot somebody. Choosing whether or not to kill yourself. What was the other scene? Choosing whether or not to, you know, the first thing about the putting girls into sexual slavery, you know, they were basically saying that anybody who's promiscuous, who uses Tinder, is going to be captured and put into sex slavery, which I suppose could happen. But I think the chances of that are pretty rare. Most of the girls in America who end up under sexual slavery generally run away from home because of their Christian oppressive parents who don't let their girls have freedom in their sexuality or their opinions or their choice of music or things like that. They decide to run away. And then they end up in a situation where they end up on drugs. And then that's how they get into sexual slavery. Mostly from shitty parenting. So, but not necessarily, you know, again, personal responsibility, but as an adolescent, I'm not going to put that on them. So that's definitely something. But why didn't Jesus save them? You know, if you're captured and chained to a wall and being repeatedly raped, why doesn't the guy pull himself up off the cross, come down there and save you? No, he's just going to let you be raped and killed and tortured and not going to help you at all. So I don't really see the point of the guy at the end, the Mel Gibson nailed to the board at the end. You would think that some of these actors who do the scene over and over every 5 minutes for 6 hours straight would probably be a little better at it. But hey, you know, these are volunteers. You can only expect so much. So I don't know how many of you hung out and watched the entire thing. I don't know if the signal was good. I don't know if the camera pointing was good. Had to hide the camera in my shirt pocket. So, going on this long walk. I can tell you the physical construction of the haunted house was very, very poor. A lot of times I thought I was going to fall right through the floor. A lot of the walls were made out of plastic or plywood without any support whatsoever. There was one spot we walked through where the walls were made of pallets that were stacked on top of each other, stapled together with plastic. The sound system was crap. Now I did like some of the sets. I thought they put a little effort into some of the sets. I thought that was kind of cool. From a community theater point of view. But other than that, it was pretty lame. Obviously the entire point of the haunted house is to proselytize to you, to get you to join their church. At the end comes the sales pitch. They sit you down in the prayer room. They put tremendous pressure on you. You'll notice when the lady is asking you at the end, if you'd like to just leave, you go out this door to the right. If you want prayer, you go to this door on the left. Notice she stood in front of the door on the right to leave and basically blocked it and opened the door to the left, and everyone under basic peer pressure went to the left. That's how proselytizing and this type of indoctrination works. It works through peer pressure, works through family and co-worker and other social status points of peer pressure. That's how they operate. And then you'll notice they had little clipboards. They'd sit down, they'd take your information. They had little, I don't know if you could see, but if you watch the video, they had little clipboards. They'd take your name, your number, your email address, your regular address. They'd start mailing you things. Start mailing you invitations, mailing you little cards and stuff, getting you to come. And that's how they do it. So, hope you enjoyed going through that little journey of hell with me, and quite frankly, the hell part was the coolest part of the whole goddamn thing. What they need is a guy like me to come in there and help them design hell for them, because at least I know what it looks like. I'm surprised you didn't give you a tract pamphlet. One of the tenets of my religion, my philosophy, is not to troll. I came respectfully as an observant. I didn't interrupt them. I didn't mock them. I didn't, do all the things I really wanted to do. But one of the tenets of my philosophy is not to do things like that. I wouldn't want a Christian to come to my home and start mocking me and telling me what I should or shouldn't be doing. I resisted the urge to argue with them and things. I can have my opinions. I can keep them to myself, and I can share them on my own time, on my own platform. If more and more people did that, we'd have a much better place. This planet would be a lot better. So I came to observe, yes, to silently laugh under my breath, but that's fair. I think that's fair. Before going in, I recorded some videos. I wanted to record the whole thing. You had to wait for a very long time in a cold field, and I thought it was strange they wanded everybody before they went in. They had a metal wand looking for guns and knives and things, and they were wanding little kids, little 5-year-olds and things. The wand doesn't work very well, by the way, because I had this right in my pocket, and I didn't notice it at all. I didn't have my piece on me, but so it was interesting. I do remember hearing one of the people working there cursing a little bit when he didn't know I was listening. He was wearing a mask, and I heard him use the F word. He needs to go pray about that. I'm parked under these power lines, and if you listen carefully, you can hear the static electricity of them crackling. So creepy. Maybe any minute God is going to snap one of these wires. It's going to fall on me and electrocute me to death. Better get in my car. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this trip to hell. This was Hell House in Cedar Hill, right by my shop, by the way. Not very far away from my place Oh man, it still smells like In-N-Out in here. I went to In-N-Out and got myself a protein burger. It was so good, I want to go get another one. That's how delicious it was. Here it is, midnight, the stroke of midnight. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope the video went all the way through and you could see it. But you know, make your own decisions. I know I have a lot of my fans that are religious, and that's fine. You know, I'm not going to not be your friend if you have religion. That's good for you. I'm happy for you. People who know me know that I'm not a religious person, and that's fine. The only umbrage I had with the entire experience was I didn't like some of the misinformation that they were giving out. You know, because basically their goal was to show you the real world, which, by the way, I've noticed Christians, churches, really don't have a problem with plagiarism. They have no problem just stealing, you know, things unlicensed. They have no problem doing that. But anyway, you know, I have worked in the haunted house industry for many years. I worked for Cutting Edge Haunted House. I worked for Hangman's. I worked for Dwayne Mackey's March of Dimes series of haunted houses, the Planet of the Dead and the Corridors of Terror, and you know, I worked at Pueblo del Diablo. I worked for Silo X. I actually got kicked out of Silo X for being too evil. They said, hey, we're trying to do sort of an alien theme, and you're like a really evil theme, and you just don't really fit in here. But they let me stay because I did such a good job of scaring people. But anyway, that was pretty fun. But I always had a fantasy of making a adult X-rated haunted house featuring like nude women like you'd see in the Freddy movies. You know, you'd always see in horror movies, there'd always be some TNA action, you know. And I always thought, why not make an adult haunted house that has like nude women in it covered in blood, and then show some scenes of, you know, show the things like they were showing, except much more graphic and without the proselytism, you know, much more glorifying it, quite frankly, in the way that a horror movie does. I've always wanted to make a haunted house in that way, where you have to sign a waiver when you go in, you know what I mean? And that would be fun. That's something that I would like to do. But it'd be one of the things, it'd be something like people would be outside picketing, which would be my dream. The churches would be outside picketing, and it would be on the news. That'd be the greatest thing that could ever happen. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to use scare tactics to scare people into coming to Jesus, you know, that realizing, oh, if I drink and drive, I'm going to die. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, if I'm a drug dealer and I go bad on my drug, you know, if I pull a gun on a drug dealer, I'm going to get shot. No shit. You know, I didn't like the stuff they were doing with the abortion clinic. I thought that was kind of fucked up because, you know, if they want to say, listen, you know, you want to give some statistical facts, this many people are killed a day, or this many babies are aborted per day, okay, that's fine. But they're calling these abortions people. And I'm like, what? That doesn't really count. And then the woman was getting an abortion by a doctor with no anesthetic, so she's like, oh, it hurts, you know, and then the little baby is crying. I'm like, yeah, I don't think the fetus the size of your pinky is going to be crying when it comes out. I mean, you know, they're really trying to scare these kids. And for every baby that gets aborted, that's one more person that's not putting money in the plate, you know, when it grows up. You know, so, and by the way, I'm not saying anything racial, but I was one of the few and only white people here. This was all Latino people. I was like a giant among these people. These were all 5 foot tall people. I'm 6'1". Everyone here was Latino, which this is a predominantly black area, which is strange. You know, I would have expected to see a lot more black people here, but it was mostly all Latino people, and then a lot of the people who worked here were white. They also obviously employ a lot of the commercially unemployable, what's the word I'm trying to say? You know, the people that are on Section 8 mental disability. They have a lot of those people, which is a good thing. Those people need jobs and things. But those were a lot of the people who were doing the direction, and quite frankly, they had no organization whatsoever. They didn't have any signs. They didn't have any, like, you didn't know where to go. I went the wrong way several times. It's very haphazard. There's no way this passed fire code. It's extremely unsafe. The wiring, the construction, just everything about it. Maybe the city of Cedar Hill or wherever I'm in is very laxed. But working in the haunted house industry for all these years and having my own haunted house at one point, I can tell you that this is not passing code. So they are clearly getting a pass from their local Christian fire marshal. You know, what does it say? Catholic too? I don't know the religion of the people that were coming in. You know, we're in Dallas, Texas. I don't think there's a lot of Catholic people around here. But I guess, you know, you gotta have your Catholic people that are from, you know, your Latino people. I'm gonna go, they're pointing me to go to the direction that says do not enter. Okay. This is the most slapped together bunch of shit I've ever seen. You know, they put the ticket booth way over here when it should be over there. They don't have any directional signs to tell you where to park, where to go, where to walk. The crazy thing is this place has received like international acclaim. You know, which is pretty amazing for what it is. So where it is, by the way, is Cedar Hill, just past Duncanville. Oh, that's nice. They have a pumpkin patch for little kids. Well, that's darling. So it's called Hell House 27 No Escape. It's at it's Trinity Church on Pleasant Run in Cedar Hill. You go down 67. You can either go down 67 or I-35. If you come down I-35, you're going to take a right. If you come down I-67, you're going to take a left on Pleasant Run. And Trinity Church is a huge, huge church. So you're going to have no problems finding it. I can't really read this because I'm driving. But I heard all kinds of stories, you know, on their website. People come out of there screaming, crying. They're horrified. They pray. They come to Jesus. Right on their website, they have a whole thing about how they do this. You know, how so many people do this. I'm like, really? Okay. I wasn't convinced. I'm a hard sell. Sorry. But I wanted so badly to debate, but that wasn't my place. And, you know, just like the girl at the end, she's talking about how she suffered from anxiety and was suicidal. And then she said, I decided that I didn't want to be that person anymore. And then I discovered Jesus. I'm like, how about just stop at I decided? How about you decided you wanted to change your life, and then you did. And then this church got a hold of you and started taking about 10% of your money. Because really, all the scenes I saw in there and all the things that I observed pretty much were all... here, I'll turn this light on. They were all about personal responsibility. You know, in this life, you have to choose your own path, your own road, and you make your own decisions. And they're right. You become a drug dealer and you're messing with drug dealers, you might get shot. They're right. You drink and drive, you're gonna wreck your car and die. They're right. You know, you fool around with the wrong kind of people on Tinder, well, you could end up in the trunk of a car or something like that, but most likely not. You know, I think that one is a little wrong. You know, that's more of the church making sex a sin, making sexuality a bad thing. You know, who says sex is a sin? People want to fuck. Let them fuck. You know, big deal. They turn things that are human nature into things that are wrong. You know, there wouldn't be sexual slavery and exploitation and these kinds of things if sex wasn't made to be taboo and wasn't
turned into the industry it is because of its demand. If women were free to be sexual the same way men were, it would take away its value. This was my argument about this Weinstein and the rape and the Me Too. I'm like, because sexuality is used as a weapon, as a tool by women, it creates a situation where men are now desperate to pay for it or fight for it or take it without asking. I'm not putting blame on women, but I'm putting blame on the social pressure that they're under to act a certain way. What other scenes did they have in there that were memorable? Not too many. And then they take you into hell. They don't explain to you that you're going to hell. But they keep telling, one of the recurring sales tactics, and I do say sales because this is about money, is that they keep trying to reiterate to you that you're worthless. I don't know what's up with my little magnet. It's pissing me off. It keeps going sideways. They want you to believe that without the acceptance of their God and Jesus, that you are worthless, you are helpless, you're incapable of making decisions on your own, and that you are absolutely on the way to hell. And I think that that's a dangerous thing. I don't think you're giving a young person, all the information that they need to make a decision in life. Because if you're young and your parents are religious and all the authority figures in your life, your teachers or your aunts or uncles, everybody you know is religious, and then you're being told that this is how it is, you've got no choice but to believe that. And so the cycle continues. And then what happens is you end up living in a world full of misinformation and lacking of knowledge. You grow up ignorant. And it's of no surprise that the most religious countries are some of the poorest countries. Maybe if these little kids were given that little nugget in their head that through science and technology and social structure, they could change their world around them in Mexico instead of simply praying to God. For instance, speaking of Mexico, I just watched this one documentary about Saint Muerte, the angel of death, the saint of death that drug dealers, criminals, murderers go to pray to for protection. So like you see this, what looks like the Grim Reaper combination with the Virgin Mary sort of looking thing on the back of a pickup truck. Well, that's probably going to be a drug dealer, cartel member, most likely. Avoid that person. So, I think I've said all that I can say about this. People know how I feel about it. I feel that places like that and things like that are dangerous because they take away the option and the ability to think as a youth, because you stop looking for other sources and answers. The answer suddenly becomes God. Oh, well, why are these horrible things happening? Well, God. Well, the devil. Well, where do I go for help, God? What's the answer, God? Oh, well, we'll pray for rain. Or you could dig a well. We'll pray for food to fall in the sky. Or you could plant some corn. We'll pray for the drug dealers to stop shooting us. Or you could get together and stop these people. It takes away personal responsibility and stops forward motion thinking, stops civilization from progressing. And now we have a situation in schools where they're arguing, they don't want to allow the teaching of evolution and teaching of how the universe is created, and they want to teach people that the earth is flat, it's 6,000 years old, and God created it in 6 days because he rested on the seventh. and all these things, you know, and this is why we have the thing that we have today, which is mass ignorance. We have ignorance on a mass scale. All the millennials, all the people that are like under, you know, in their 20s and under, have been born into a world of absolute ignorance, of willful ignorance. And when I say ignorance, I'm going to say stupidity. Absolute willful stupidity. They've been given the truth, refuse to believe it, and choose to believe in absolute stupidity. They don't want to believe the earth is round and that we went to the moon, and everybody thinks that there's a second gunman on the grassy knoll and all this shit. It's ridiculous. But unfortunately, this is what's going on. And maybe it's just Mother Nature's way of trying to depopulate the planet. You know, we definitely have an overpopulation problem. And Mother Nature has always had a way, through evolution, of getting rid of the stupid. You know, the mother eat the young of the runts. And because all of the retarded kids have been wearing helmets and shit for too long, we now have 100 million stupid motherfucking people. You know, used to be those kids got knocked off when they swallowed a marble or stuck a fork into the light socket, and they got eliminated from our planet. We didn't need those people. They're fucking stupid. But because of safety and helmets and tempered glass, we now have more and more of these people than ever before. We can't get rid of them because every time they try to kill themselves, they get shuttled off to a hospital and somebody saves them. So Mother Nature's trying to figure out how to get rid of these people now. And the best it can come up with is having them kill each other, which I'm all for. So that's what's going on. I got to get some gas in this big Cadillac because it gets horrible gas miles. And that's it. So thanks for going with me on this journey to hell at the Hell House.